It is 8:03 on a Monday, March the 31st, 2025. Right now, we have 65 degrees going up near 80 with some storms this evening. And a good evening to you. Good morning, I should say.
You work evenings a lot,
I know,
so
I do.
you're forgiven. It's okay.
It's good to be here with you, John Aaron. I'm Mike Murillo.
Yes, thank you. A former member of the DC Council who was just expelled says he's taking another run at his old seat. WTOP's Luke Lukert has more.
In an Instagram post celebrating the end of Ramadan, former Ward 8 DC Council member Trayon White wrote, "Re-election campaign starts tomorrow." Less than 2 months ago, White was expelled by unanimous vote from the DC Council after an independent investigation found he violated city and council rules. White was arrested by the FBI in August and faces bribery charges after investigators say he accepted well over $100,000 in kickbacks for influence over city contracts for violence intervention services. He still won re-election in November, but was ultimately kicked out of the council. White has pleaded not guilty to the federal charge. Luke Luger, WTOP News.
It is 8:04. There's new concern that child care centers in federal buildings could suffer as a result of all the DOGE cuts. The Washington Post reports many families had hoped with President Trump's return to office orders, it would give a boost to the facilities, but instead the administration has eliminated the office responsible for oversight of child care centers. There are 82 child care centers from Alaska to Puerto Rico, overseen by the General Services Administration. One former GSA employee who worked in the department that had oversight of the centers tells the Post the child care centers will now have less accreditation, less standards, and possibly lower quality and higher tuition costs.
This is Women's History Month, and WTOP's Neil Augenstein wanted to find out how pay in different businesses in the DMV area compares between women and men.
There's a sizable gender wage gap here in the DMV, even though there's lots of law firms and other jobs where high earnings are possible.
In those circumstances, women typically have less access to the highest echelons of earnings.
Ariane Higovich with the Institute for Women's Policy Research says it's not exactly that women are doing the same job but getting paid less, but they may not be promoted to the best jobs or be introduced to clients that bring the biggest bonuses.
Maryland and Virginia have a lot of other areas where the opportunities for professional and high-earning jobs are not quite as high as in the DMV area.
She says there are 2 jobs nationally where women working a 40-hour week do get paid more than a man. One is a producer or director. The second job is educational counselors.
That may be an age issue. It's a very female occupation, and you get more men now going into it.
Neil Augenstein, WTOP News.
This month, WTOP has been celebrating Women's History Month on air and online. Search Women's History Month at WTOP.com to read more.
The Pentagon City Mall closed early on Saturday night after a series of fights broke out. WTOP's Sarah Jacobs reports 3 teenagers now facing charges.
Arlington County Police say when officers arrived at the mall just after 7 p.m. Saturday, there was a very large crowd near the food court and several fights happening simultaneously. Police urged mall management to close early and send shoppers home. A 13-year-old girl is charged with riot and assault on police. She's accused of pushing an officer and resisting arrest. A 15-year-old girl accused of assaulting a store employee is charged with 2 counts of assault and battery and assault on police, among other charges. A 14-year-old boy who police say had a knife is charged with assault on police, riot while carrying a weapon, and trespassing. Sarah Jacobs, WTOP News.
Alex Ovechkin is now just 5 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's NHL record.
Yeah.
He scored another last night against the Buffalo Sabres, though the Caps did lose the game. We'll have more coming up in sports at 8:25.
Coming up on WTOP and Money News.
We return items we don't like. A surprising number return items they do after they use them. I'm Jeff Laidlaw.
It is 8:07.
This